Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So today I'm going to talk about a difficult subject. The reason I'm talking about it is because someone asked me, why don't I put prices and values of things when I'm showing them? And yeah, it's so fraught. It's so fraught. So I don't mind telling you occasionally what I've paid for things. And then when I'm actually out and about and I'm buying things, you can see what I'm paying for them. And also, when I'm turning over price labels on things when I'm out and about, you can see what people are selling them for. But I think there's a saying that in the antiques world that it's only worth what someone is willing to pay for it, and that can be so variable for the same object, and quite often it's also down to where it's being sold and how it's being sold. So if I'm going to Time Warp, which is in Northampton, which is a place where basically they've got the contract with the tip. They don't know what anything is. They just start whacking prices on everything, low prices, because they're buying everything on a single contract. They just want to turn stuff over as quickly as possible. So, and they don't want to research them. They just want them gone. So if there's something they know about, they'll put a more reasonable price on it. And if they don't know, they won't. And also, I'll show you something I have here on my desk. I bought this. You saw me buy it in Whedon. And yeah, this is a Regency honey pot or mustard pot or something like condiment pot or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the lid's good. Yeah, that's nice. However, basically the bulk of one side has come off and it's been fixed with staples. Now, to most dealers, they wouldn't touch it with a barge pole, okay? So really then you're down to collectors or someone that might be interested. And a lot of people, they'll see this much damage and they'll just walk away. And it's only if you have some nerdy guy like me who's willing to pay not very much, so it was £4, yeah. I go, oh, look at this, staples, they're cool. And yeah, so it quite frequently comes down to who's buying it and whether you're lucky enough to have that person walk by. If that was glue, I would have walked by and they probably would never have sold it. Not for £4, not for £1 even, you know, because it's such a relic then, and you need someone that's just going to say, yeah, I'll have it because it was a good thing once. But yeah, it's so with the staples, there are a few people that will buy them, me being one of them, if it's very cheap. But and it's the same with some of the other things I collect, where I'm interested and I'm gonna, for some things, I'm gonna pay a proper price. But for most of the other stuff, I'm just gonna go, oh look, that's super cheap. I can't walk by. It's such a bargain. So yeah, that's how it is. And also, if you're buying it online and everything, quite often it's got a description or it's not got a description, and that will change the value because the person that, as I've said previously, context has got a lot of value. And if the person is describing something as a thing, then theoretically, if they've got it wrong, you can get your money back, but then you've got to prove it. If it's in an antique shop or an antique centre, it's easier to go back with your item and go, yeah, this is wrong. Look, here it is in a book, here it is online, or whatever, and I'm showing you that it's wrong, or whatever it is. So you can have that's, and you pay a bit for that, what can I say, guarantee of what it is. Yeah, that this is what you're buying. If you're buying something and it just says art glass, but you know it's something more valuable, or you think it's something more valuable, and you pay your £5 for it thinking it's worth £50, and then it turns out it's still only worth £5, then that's all on you. Yeah, because the description didn't say that it was the thing that you thought it might be. So yeah, it's all a bit funny. And it was all from these Bullseye glasses that I was looking at yesterday, these ones. And I picked mine up as I've gone along. I think I showed you a really nice jug that came with 4 glasses like this, and I think I paid £15 for them. Yeah, so that's a bargain by anybody's measure, because individually the glasses are not worth very much. The jug is worth probably the £15, so effectively the glasses were free. Yeah. But still, even then, probably not a massive bargain. But I really like the look of it, and it makes a nice set, etc. But anyway, and I have a decanter as well, so that makes it even more. So if you're making a bigger set, it then becomes more valuable, because to recreate those is harder. But then you're taking some risk in buying things when you don't have more of it, if you know what I mean. It's all a bit, up and down. So anyway, I'm going to show you some things on eBay. With eBay, what I like to do sometimes is go in and have a look at what the sold prices of things are. And I've seen, there's one guy, what's his name? He's a UK reseller of clothes, and he uses, while he's actually in the charity shops, he films himself in the charity shops. I don't think he's got permission. I think he's got this camera hanging on his chest, so doesn't say anything, just goes in and films. And he's got his phone out all the time, and he's checking sold prices for things. That he's like picking out a t-shirt and going, oh yeah, I think this is good, this is blah blah blah, and you can see him doing it. And I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not that blatant, and also I want to get invited back, and he doesn't. There's so many charity shops. He travels quite a bit as well, so yeah, he just does what he does and breezes through it, and I don't want to pee anybody off. So anyway, so with that said, I've clocked up a few pages on eBay, and we'll have a punt and have a look and see what things sell for, against what people are trying to sell things for, against then what some of the sold prices are looking like. And also I'll show you some of the bits where it all gets a little bit tricky. So anyway, with that said, let's get on. So the first search I've got here is Whitefriars Poppy Head. So I did, there's two videos I did. One was on the Whitefriars Poppy Head pattern, which is this, and also one on Whitefriars Uranium. And some people call these poppy heads as well, so these have appeared in the search, and you can see, look at the price of these. So I have one of these. This is a slightly different shape. I have this, but I think mine's in clear, so it's not going to be worth £150. And yeah, so this has got £65 on it for this glass. I think that's probably steep. But then mine were not listed as that. They were listed as, I think, Victorian cherry glasses or something like that. I bought a set of 6 for £12. So yeah, obviously I can't return those and go, yeah, but these are this one's got a chip. That would be madness, wouldn't it? So anyway, but then what I did was I tried to look for what's sold. And yeah, this is the difficulty. All you've got is bits of poppy. There is actually no matching words for it. So none of it is sold recently, which means those prices are probably a little bit toppy, but I don't know how toppy they are. So with that, we'll move on. So this search is Web Bullseye, and yeah, it's all Gay series glass, because it's all vases and bowls of the shapes that we were looking at in my last video. And you can see there's a range of prices, and a lot of it is, if it's brown, yeah, it's not so exciting. There's a lot of brown. Clear is a bit more valuable. That's a nicer shape than these ones, but even then, this one is, I think these two are actually the same bowl, the same size. This one's £9.95, this one's, but that's on auction. That's buy it now. But you can see there's ones that are better shapes, but then you hit a uranium green one, spring green as it's known, and that's $36.99. Whether they're going to get $36.99, I don't know. There's another uranium one. They want £99 for that. That seems very expensive. It's not even very clear if it's a yellow one or a green one, but it doesn't matter. It's a uranium one, and that's, I think I said in the last video, that gives it some value. And yeah, there's another uranium rare one, £54. So you can see the fact that they're uranium ones does give them value. The brown ones are usually cheaper, and then there's different sizes and shapes. But look at these two here. These two look about the same. £135. to £30, and I think those two are actually the same shape, right next door to each other. So yeah, it shows you the difference. There's one piece of tableware, but it's not in the UK, it's in Germany. They want £30 for that. Yeah, there's not much tableware here. There's no glasses and jugs. But yeah, anyway, you get the idea. The values vary massively. So then we'll click over, and there's not much sold. And yeah, and even there's glasses there. And what's funny is that they've got one of these small ones, it says, because it says cocktail glass. I don't think that's a small one though. So that's £11.88. Then £2.99 for this one here. And then I think, how much did they want to get for these ones here? Set of 6. Come on, scroll. £20. So yeah, the glasses don't make a lot of money, and if you can get the larger sizes, they're actually a useful size. These ones look like the cocktail glasses because they've got a slightly wider stem. And then look at this bowl, £5.99. This little vase here, £10. This bowl was £8. So it's showing you, yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, this is only showing me what's happened in the last 3 months, so it's not a great trend. And that's the other problem. It might be that things have got bad in the last few months, or just, yeah, there's been so much on in a short period that only the cheapest stuff is sold. Also, I'll show you something else that I found while I was looking, because I thought, oh, well, there's no decanters, and I just thought I'll have a look at the web decanters, and I did find one. And yeah, they've named it wrong, web only dimple round decanter, and they want £99.50 for a clear one. So that's a normal size one as well. I can tell by the angle of the shoulders. So yeah, that seems, I think they will struggle at that price, but it's difficult, you know, what is the right price for that? Should it be £30, £35? Should it be £70? You know, and until you see one sold, you ain't gonna know. And even then, that could be a one-off, you know, or it could be a buy it now, where someone's come in not knowing what they've sold, what its real value is. They've put it on buy it now for 25, and someone's popped in and snapped it up. So yeah, we'll move on, and I'll show you something else. So when I was in Click Antiques, I was umming and ahhing over a glass, which was very like this one. It was the egg and dart pattern, so I've put Georgian egg and dart up here. Look, Georgian egg dart, just to see what pops up. This glass popped up for $19.99. Now this one doesn't have any chips. I don't know if there's anything else wrong with it. I'm not going to dive in and have a look, but there might be. So the one in Click was £9, but it does have some small chips. But yeah, I think the foot was a bit bigger than this one, so this might be cut down. And they've got this here, which looks a bit 20th century. This foot looks too small, and these scale, it just looks too nicely done. But they want £95, so I'm very unsure of that date. And then they've got this one, which they want £90 for. Now this is an earlier shape with a slight curve in it. Yeah, but in actual fact, it's not even egg and dart. And this is your problem with people naming things. If I open the next page here, here it is, and it tells you it's a T-dot stem, egg and dart, 18th century. But yeah, that pattern that you can see there, let me see if I can get a closer look on it. You can see it there. It's usually called XO. I'm not sure if that's an XO. It's got a little star and an O, but if it's like a little cross and an O, it's called an XO pattern. Yeah, £90, and this has got chips as well on the foot. Shall I show you the foot? You can see there's a big chip on it. So yeah, with that, £90 is way OTT. it needs to be a better glass or not have any chips. And then I thought, okay, let's have a look at the sold ones. And you've got this one here, which sold for £39, and it says I'm a 1820. Unfortunately, this looks like a little funny mix of, you know, egg and dart is usually more 1800 kind of age, maybe earlier, maybe a bit later. 1820 would be quite late for it. Then you've got this panel cut thing with the square base, and then if you look at the base here, look at this. This looks new. Yeah. So whoever bought it for £39, thinking it was from 1820, unless they don't know any better, are sorely disappointed. So this is how it goes with trying to price things, where, you know, this might be an honest mistake on the part of the dealer, or it could be that the foot has been heavily chopped away to make it nice and smooth. But yeah, that's why I don't like going down, oh, I'll tell you the price of this and tell you the price of that. The Bullseye stuff is usually relatively cheap, I can tell you that. And you can try and make up a service, especially if you go for brown. But yeah, I don't really want to go into details, because some places will charge you, you know, £8 or £9 a glass, and then other places you might see them for like £2 or £3 a glass. It's such a big variety. In fact, you'd probably even see them for £10, you know, 10, 50. If it's a bigger one, £10, £15 a glass. If it's a bigger one, but it's difficult because, and this is why I like this, it's because this bargain's to be had all the time. If I was to buy every bargain that I saw on eBay, I would be broke and my house would be rammed with glass. So I just have to think, what do I like? Do I like that? Does it fit into my collection somehow? Is it useful? Or can I put it in a, you know, on my website and then flip it out and sell it? Stuff like that. I have to make all those considerations. So yeah, so even the prices I'm willing to pay, sometimes even if it is a real bargain, I'm just not going to buy it because I don't want it, you know. So anyway, let's get back to finishing this. So that's why I don't like giving prices, because it's so, and as I said, to me the most important thing is to know what you're looking at, and the more you know. So if you, especially if you're going in car booting charity shops and you're seeing things for £1 or £2, what you want to be able to do is differentiate between the things that are only worth £1 or £2 and the things that might be worth, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you're seeing one of these and it's £2, you know, that's a wrong price, and I can take it and try and flip it, or have it for your collection if you like it, because you know, oh yeah, it's a real bargain, and I can, you know, I'm not getting ripped off in any way, but you know what you're buying. The main thing is, and that's what I'm trying to teach people, is know what you're buying, or no, try and find out how to find out what it is that you're looking at. So yes, I don't want to go down the pricing everything, because it's such a wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing. If you remember that from Doctor Who. Yeah, it's difficult. So I will tell you what I've paid for things, or alternatively, if I'm looking in shops, I'll tell you what's on the labels quite often. But yeah, and if I think it's cheap or not, but I'm reluctant to go, oh, and it should be exact, you know, it's £9 and it should be 19. I don't want to do that, because yeah, it's a bit, I think I've done it once, and that was in Click Antiques, and that thing sold where I said, oh, it's 95 and it should be 195. But yeah, it's a funny one, and I don't want to go there too much. I want to basically teach people about glass. So with that said, I'm not going to put any references. You can find eBay for yourself, and you can look at the videos that I was talking about. And yeah, so have a good evening. Oh, and please remember to like and subscribe. So thank you very much. Good night.